This video is an introduction to metric conversions, and there's two different ways that you can think about metric conversions. One is this staircase here that has the smaller units of measurement on the bottom, millimeters, centimeters, decimeters, meters, decameters, hectometers, and kilometers. Or you can think in terms of a line moving from left to right. In the staircase, every time you move up the staircase, you divide by 10. So you're going to get smaller, and that's because if you have 10 millimeters, for example, that's only equal to 1 centimeter, or 0.1 of a decimeter, or 0.01 of a meter. So as you get bigger units of measurement, your numbers will get smaller. Likewise, if you start with 1 kilometer, as you go down and convert it into millimeters, your number is going to get bigger. And again, if you think about it, think how long 1 kilometer is. Think about how many meters are in that. There's much more than 1 meter in that. Think about how many centimeters are in that, even more. So the staircase, every step you go up, you divide by 10. Every step you go down, you multiply by 10. Alternately, you can use this like a number line, and every time you move to the right, so from kilometers to hectometers to decimeters to meters, etc., when you move to the right, you're going to move your decimal place 1 place to the right. When you move to the left, from millimeters to centimeters to decimeters and so on, you're going to move 1 decimal place to the left. So every step, along this line, you move 1 to the left if you're moving left, and 1 to the right if you're moving right. Now, how do you remember the order? Well, here's a really good saying that you can use to remember. So it says, King Henry died, and I add in this accidentally. He died accidentally on a Monday doing conversions in metric math. You can make up your own saying if you don't like that saying, but let's talk about what that saying means. Well, King, that's your kilometers. Henry, that's your hectometers. I made that look like kilometers there. The died accidentally, that's your decameters. On a Monday, there's your meters. Doing, there's your decimeters. Conversions, there's your centimeters. And metric math, there's your millimeters. Now all you need to do is make your line, and you have it all there. Now, you might be unsure what I'm saying. Hectometer, okay, deca, that means 10 meters. Whoops, it would help if I spelled it right. So decameter. You are familiar with meters. Decimeter, that means a tenth of a meter. Centimeter and millimeter you're familiar with. So these are probably the new ones to you. Hectometers, decameters, and decimeters. And all the other ones I think you've probably heard before. So what does this mean then? So let's go back to here. How do we use this to help us? Well, meters to centimeters, we find where meters is on our number line, or find where it is on our stair, and we want to go to centimeters. So that means I want to move 1, 2 to the right. So then I'm going to move the decimal place, which would be here. I'm going to move it 2 to the right, and that will give me 400. That's as easy as it is. Or you can go meters, and you're counting down 2 steps, so you multiply by 10 and by another 10. Kilometers to decimeters. So let's just erase that work. Kilometers to decimeters, you're going to find kilometers. What do you need to do to get to decimeters? Move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So you find the decimal place, which is right there, and you move it 4 to the right. That means 1 place plus 3 zeros. So you can use that as well. You can count how many decimal places are already in the number and then figure out how many zeros you need. If you want to use a staircase, you go kilometers to decimeters. You multiply by 10, by 10, by 10, by 10. Millimeters to meters. So find where millimeters is. So millimeters is here. You want to get to meters. So that's 1, 2, 3, but 3 to the left. So 3 to the left versus these ones which were to the right. So when you move to the left, again, you find your decimal place. If it isn't there, it will be at the end of the number, and move 1, 2, 3 to the left, and you'll get decimal 250. If you just write decimal 250, that's fine. So is decimal 25. You don't need the 0 on the end or in front. All three of these are the same thing. If you were using the staircase, you find millimeters to meters, and you go divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10. So let's look at the next one. Decameters to kilometers. So find decameters. There it is. Get to kilometers, that's 1, 2 to the left. So find your decimal place and move 2 to the left, and you'll end up with 12. Hectometers to meters. Find where hectometers is. To get to meters is 1, 2 to the right. So again, find your decimal place, move it 2 to the right. Because of that one spot, you're going to have that spot plus 1 0. You'll end up with 450. So it's actually quite easy if you have this number line or the staircase. And then the number line I like better because whatever way I move is the way my decimal moves. Then I don't have to remember anything, but I moved left, my decimal moves left, or I moved right, my decimal moves right. And every step is worth 1 decimal place. So let's look at what happens when you don't have linear. So these are for lengths, like the length of a rectangle or the height of a triangle. What happens if we're trying to convert areas? So now our units are square units. So if we look along the bottom, it's the same order. The King Henry died accidentally on a Monday doing conversions in metric math. It's the same thing. Our staircase is the same, but now every step is worth, if we look up here, every step is worth 2 places. So now instead of moving the decimal once, 1 step, so if I went from kilometers squared to hectometers squared, that 1 step would actually be moving it 2 places, then 4 places, then 6, and so on. Or moving up and down the stairs, instead of dividing or multiplying by 10, you're going to divide or multiply by 100. So it's a little bit different. It works the same way. Moving to the right moves it to the right, moving to the left moves it to the right, moving to the right moves it to the right, and moving to the left moves it to the left. But now each step is worth 2 because we've got square units. So now let's look at the examples. Meter squared to centimeter squared. So we do the same thing. We find meter squared. There it is. We ask ourselves, what do we need to do to go to centimeters? We move 2, 4. So that's 2, 4. We move to the right, so we're going to move it 4 to the right. So we find our decimal and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because of that 1, then we have 3 zeros on the end. So 4, 1 with 3 zeros on the end. If we're using the staircase, we divide by 100 and then divide by 100 again. Let's look at the next one. Kilometers to decimeters. Here's our kilometers. Decimeters is quite a far way. We're going 2, 4, 6, 8 to the right. going to be a pretty big number, because think about it. A square kilometer, that's a kilometer by a kilometer. That's quite large. There's going to be a lot of decimeter squareds in there. So when we move 8 to the right, this one is 1 plus 7 more, that would be 8. So we have 25 with 7 zeros. So 1 and then 7 more. So I want you to think about the next one. Millimeters to meters. So I want you to think, where are you going to start? Where will you end up? What direction did you move? And how many decimal places is that? So here's millimeters. We want to get to meters. That's 2, 4, 6 to the left. Find your decimal place. When it's not there, it's at the end of the number, and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at the end of the number, plus 1 more. So we're going to have 0.0145. And if you want to write the 0, 0, you can. Or that part you don't have to write. You can just do that. And again, you don't need to have the 0 in front. I like to put the 0 in front. That's up to you. So let's look at the next one. Decameters. So let's find decameters. Let's move to kilometers. 2, 4 to the left. So find your decimal, move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. 0.12 or 0.1200. So last one on this page, hectometers to millimeters. So again, think about, where's hectometers? What direction do you have to move to get to millimeters? And how many places will you move? So here's hectometers. We need to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to the right to get to millimeters. Again, how I do it is I say, okay, that was 1. Making it 72 is 1. I need to go 10, so that's 1 plus 9 more will get me to 10. So it'll be 72 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You might think, whoa, that's a pretty big number, and you're right, it is. But again, think about it. A square millimeter is absolutely tiny, because a square centimeter would be like the size of a face of a dice, and a square millimeter would be even smaller than that. So think about how many of those are going to be in a hectometer. There's going to be a lot. So that's why these numbers are so big or so small. So let's look at what happens, because we are going to be doing some work later with volume. What happens when we have cubic units? So for this one, you'll notice there's no staircase. But if you wanted to use a staircase, you totally can. It would be the same as this staircase, but each step would be dividing or multiplying by 1,000 now. Or you can use this number line. The King Henry died accidentally on a Monday doing conversions in metric math. Because we have cubic units, each step is going to be worth 3 places. So it's kind of easy to remember in that units, linear units, so units that are just centimeters, meters, each step is worth 1. Square units, when the exponent is 2, each step is worth 2. Cubic units, when the exponent is 3, each step is worth 3. So we do the same process. Meters to centimeters. Find meters. We need to go 3, 6. So there's 3, 6. What direction did we move? We moved to the right. So that will be 6 to the right. Find your decimal. 1 plus 5 more will be 41, followed by 5 zeros. If you're using the staircase, you just do divide by 1,000, divide by 1,000. Or sorry, in this case, multiply by 1,000, multiply by 1,000. Kilometers to decimeters. Here's kilometers. You need to go 3, 6, 9, 12 to the right. So that's going to be really big. We move 1 plus 11 more. That means it'll be a 25 followed by 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So quite a large number. Millimeters to meters. So let's find millimeters. Here's millimeters. How do I get to meters? I go 3, 6, 9 to the left. So find your decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets you to the beginning of the number. That's 5, but we need to get to 9, so we need to go 4 more. So that means we're going to have 4 zeros in front. So that was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll be decimal with 4 zeros. Then your 1, 4, 5, and 0, 0 if you want. So again, looking at that, if I show you, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places to the left. So that will be your answer. You need to have all the zeros in front, right there. You don't have to have the ones on the end, and you don't have to have the one in the units place. But these ones here, the tenths place and the hundredths place and so on, those zeros are part of the number. They must be there. So let's look at, we've got a couple more. Decameters to kilometers. So here's decameters. We need to go to kilometers. That's 3, 6 to the left. So we move 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 more, 5, 6. So that'll be 2 zeros in front and then our 12. And we could put the 0, 0 on the end if we want to. Totally fine to do that. And our last one, we have hectometers to millimeters. So here's hectometers. We got to go all the way here. We have to go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 to the right. That means 1 plus 14 zeros. So 7, 2, that was our 1. To get to 15, we need 14 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's going to be an enormous number, but that's how many millimeter cubed are in a hectometer cube. They're quite large numbers.